Hello, everybody. It is Margarita here, and I have a beautiful friend with me tonight, Mayanya Starborn. And I'll give you a little bit of background with my story with Mayanya. And tonight, what Mayanya and I are going to be talking about is it's great, actually. Mayanya said it just as we were setting up tonight, and I thought this is perfect. So it's relax and play. Relax and play. It's all going to be okay. So tonight, we're going to give you a little bit of a cosmic update. I know that this time has been incredibly unsettling. There's a lot of uncertainty out there. It's all a bit frantic, really, because we don't know what's really going on the planet, and we need to settle into a place of trust and just allow and just know that there is an ascension happening. We are transcending the old paradigms, the old systems, and everything that has not been working for humanity. There's a lot that has not worked for humanity over the last hundreds of years. We are starting to transcend that now. And I'll give you, before I introduce Mayanya formally, my background with Mayanya was, gosh, I met Mayanya, 15 years ago?
Must be at least, yeah.
At least 15 years ago. And Mayanya was the one who really helped me to step into my light language, to understand it, to kind of harness it, for want of better words, because it was a bit unruly when I first discovered it. It kind of had a mind of its own. But Mayanya mentored me and helped me to really get a handle on it. And this is such an auspicious time for all humanity. It's such an exciting time. Mayanya is a light worker and a light language channel. Mayanya has been doing this work for, how long have you been doing this work for, Mayanya?
Nearly 30 years now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's not been an easy road or journey, particularly 30 years ago. So without further ado, welcome, Mayanya. It is so beautiful to have you here tonight.
Thank you. It's lovely to be with you. It's I actually remember that first time we met. It was up on King Tumba Mountain on the Central Coast. And I was at the time anchoring the mystery school, which was called the Mystery School of the Golden Chrysalis, and you were there. And I think I was speaking light language and something happened to you. I think your husband was there and he was like, that's the language you talk in your sleep or something. And and you came up to me and went, what's going on? What's that language?
I remember it so well. It was this insane night, and I'd never heard of light language before. And you started to speak it, and my body, I'd never experienced anything like it. My body was just like, it was vibrating. I felt like I was about to take off or something. My body was just going nuts at this recognition. And that's my husband, Laurie, sitting next to me going, digging me in the ribs, going, that's the language that you talk in your sleep. Because I've been speaking this language and we had no idea what it was. I just wake up and he'd go, you've been speaking that weird language again. And it turned out to be light language. And I remember, because you are so tall, and I remember walking up to you, and I'm so short, looking up at you, and I was like speechless for a few seconds, going, what do I say to this woman? Because I have no idea what's going on here.
I know.
It's hilarious.
Yeah, and so began the journey, and we played together for a little while. Yeah,
we did.
yeah.
We did. So tell us a little bit more about the work and what you're doing with the work and light language and what it means and what we're bringing into the planet right now and all this crazy crap that's happened this year.
Okay, well, gee, where to start? You know, we're this constantly evolving being, one being that is constantly evolving. We're like that 1,000-petaled lotus that just continues to flower and flower and flower for eternity. And nothing gets old. Everything's always new. Everything's always the same, but everything's always changing. And I think what's happening now is these very ancient parts of ourselves that, believe it or not, don't come from the past. They're fully active right now. The ancient being that you are doesn't exist in the past. She or he exists in a reality or a dimension or a time frame, or a not so much a time frame, but this is a holographic universe, a multiverse. Everything you are and everything you could be and have been and will be is happening now. And there's a lot of focus on this particular point within that multi-dimensional holographic matrix, because our planetary system or our galactic system is in an upgrade. And if the galactic system is in an upgrade, your physical system is an upgrade, because the microcosm and the macrocosm are part of the same being. So we could say that the body of God is in an upgrade, and you're a cell in the body of God, so you're in an upgrade. So you're going to be vibrating like you've never vibrated before. You're going to be feeling like you've never felt before. And an upgrade means a metamorphosis, a blossoming into something else. So even when the little bud is like this, it's never experienced this. It's the same flower, it's just in a whole different process of growth. And all we do, because this is a polarized universe, all we do is work between two polarized fields that go from contraction to expansion, contraction to expansion, contraction to expansion. Now, when we're in our contraction, it's like we're safe and we're good, and we're getting fuller and fuller and fuller and fuller and fuller, and we're going to burst. But there's something within us as human beings that either goes, no, or bring it on, So either way, you can't stay contracted forever. This cell in the body of God is expanding. And that is what a lot of people are feeling. They're feeling the expansion, but the mind wants to keep us safe, which feels like the contraction. So there's a lot of conflict at the moment, which is really why we're experiencing this, the C word. I'm not going to say it. I'm just going to call it the C word, because it's bringing up either your feeling of absolute contraction and fear, or you're moving beyond it. You've already moved beyond it into an expanded aspect of yourself. So that's why that's going on the planet at the moment, to bring up either the intense feeling of contraction or moving into a greater expansion. So I can speak a little bit about light language, but light language, I remember when I taught my first course of light language, I put a lot of people's noses out of joint, because light language is actually the language of vibration, the language of sound, the language of the planet, the language of the birds, the language of light. And light creates everything. So everything is vibrating with light, and everything speaks its own language of light. They can rig up plants now, and you can hear plants singing. They sing their own light language. And I remember at that first course, I was having people, before they actually launched into their own light language, which is the language that comes from the source of themselves, their source being, and it's unique, by the way. It's always unique. You can't copy somebody else's light language, which is why I remember with us, when we started, there can be a propensity to copy the person that's teaching you so that you feel safe. And I'm like, no, you have to tap into your language of light. It's unique. It's yours. It comes from your soundboard. It comes from your source of creation. And I was telling people that they needed to make sounds like birds and sounds like bees and sounds like crickets, and they were getting really cranky with me, and they were like, but we're here to learn about light language. And I'm like, yeah, but can you feel confident to buzz like a bee? Can you just make sounds? Yeah, but we want light language. I'm like, this is light language. Make these sounds, integrate these sounds, and then allow your body to bring forth your language of light. So what happens when we transmit the language of light from the source of light within us, that transmits a source vibration, a profound truth that is beyond words, that is the vibrational language of light. And when that truth is transmitted through the instrument of light, which is the body, and it reaches another instrument that is reaching for that truth, that instrument vibrates with that frequency of light, the language of light, which is what you felt that night, which is now what you have tapped into in yourself, which is when you sing, you transmit that light vibration, fields of light going out, fields of heart resonant truth, which have no language that the mind can lock onto and go, oh, this means this and this means that, and she's saying this. It's just pure sound. And the body, as the instrument, the receptor and the transmitter, the body cells just open and go. It's what I call an automatic upgrade. When
I love it.
Because this is technology, baby. I don't know whether you've noticed. These are our spaceships, our light ships, and we're in an upgrade. So the language of light allows the receptors, the cellular receptors in the body, to open to higher frequencies of light, to be able to then absorb and integrate higher frequencies of light. Because if you're in an ascendancy, if you're ascending or if you're evolving into a different shape, it's the same flower, but it's evolving into a different shape. That shape is receptive. You see, we're becoming more and more receptive. So I say, you're going from the bud, closed, tight. The old program is protect, stay safe, protect, stay safe, to bring it on. I'm now receptive. I'm now receptive to all of the gifts of the multiverse. It's got to be good, right? It's got to be good. It's the blossoming is always good. It's unfamiliar. It's not known. It's never been experienced before, but it's got to be good. But it takes courage to open those receptors. Generally, the mind, when it hears something new, sees something new, the old program goes, reject, hold that out, don't embrace it. It's weird. She's crazy. Or, you know, they're going to think I'm crazy. And so it keeps you closed. But the body, which is an instrument of divine light, vibrates. And so the mind goes, what the hell's going on? What the hell's going on? I've got goosebumps. I'm vibrating. And it's because the body bypasses the mind. You know, so that's why I love the language of light, because something's going on that you can't control, that is happening at a cellular level, that you can feel, that you can't make up, that you can't pretend is happening. Something is happening. You're having a direct experience of your cells opening up and receiving higher frequencies of light. And it's sound. It's pure sound transmission. Now, when they open and they receive the high frequencies of light, they integrate the high frequencies of light. That gets played into the spectrum of the body. It tunes the instrument. It tunes the cosmic instrument up to a higher vibration so that it can open to more light. Essentially, if you can't open to more light, you can't upgrade. You can't upgrade. You can't download higher frequencies. You're stuck in a ceiling where the body receptors go, no, no, no. And basically you're just die in the bud. That's the only way I can put it. You die in the bud. And the beauty of this is that, you know, this is an eternal game. This is eternal creation. It doesn't matter if you die in the bud, because you're going to come back and you're going to have another go, and you're going to come back and you're going to have another go. There's a great saying, when you are God, there's nothing to do but to play really, really complex games with yourself. So, so this is all there is to do. Now, that said, and this is interesting, I want to share this with you. I was doing a reading for a lady the other day, and her husband had just died, and she was in a lot of grief. And she said, am I going to see him again? And I tuned in and I saw him as a young man. He was 18 years old. And I said, well, actually, he is currently now 18 years old in his new life. And she went, what? I said, yeah, it doesn't play out the way we think, in some kind of linear thing where back then I was in Egypt, and then I'm going to be in, 3087 in some future. It's everything's happening now. So when I tune into his next life, which is not linear, I'm not in a linear time frame I'm within the whole matrix, I immediately go to him as an 18-year-old, and he's living the life he needs to live. She says, and he had Asperger's in this life. He didn't have children. And then I followed the path in his new life, in his current life. And he was 18, and then he married, and he had 2 children, and he was in a whole completely different integration. And she said, am I going to meet him again? Will we be together again? And I said, yes. And that life is happening right now. And you're in Egypt, in ancient Egypt. I went, how does this even work? I said, because it doesn't play out the way you think it plays out. This is not linear. It looks linear, but actually there's no time in reality. There are vortexes and spirals that create the possibility for us to have different experiences, and everything's happening now. Every life you've ever lived, every life you've ever will live, on every dimension, in every reality, is happening now, and that's infinite. Now, you know what? I was saying this 30 years ago, and seriously,
people thought you were absolutely off your rocker.
And now I go onto Gaia TV and I listen to Greg Braden and all these other metaphysicists, and I go, oh, thank God. Thank God they're all saying the same thing. All of the scientists are saying this multi-dimensional, finally. And, you know, maybe it's actually a simulation, and maybe it's actually the scientists are saying this, and I'm going, yeah, well, it takes us a little while to catch up, because we're so locked into these old paradigms of how we've been taught to think about things, and a lot of that is breaking down now. Anyway, I've probably digressed.
This holographic experience feels so real, Mayanya. It's very hard for the brain to embrace something that, when we are so kinesthetic with we see things, we touch things, we hear things, we feel things. And if it's not tangible, like everything that you were just talking about is actually, I know it's not, there's a lot more beyond that as well. But they're actually very, very high level concepts for most people to embrace. I mean, a lot of people who are listening to this now are going, what the hell's she talking about? And yet, I mean, you go into way higher concepts than this with your trainings and your teachings. This is pretty basic for you. But for most people on the planet, it's like, whoa, man, am I tripping? Like, so, and I really want you to talk about, because we're going to talk about your light language t-shirts and your teas very soon, because they're available for everybody to be able to take advantage of and experience the light language for themselves. But I'd really like to speak to this current experience that we're going through on the planet right now, which I believe is an ascension. I'd like you to speak to that, and a massive transition for humanity. There's so much, you mentioned the word before, there's so much conflict. There's so much dense energy around. And I speak to, I have multiple clients who are in the United States, and they just said it's scary right now because there's so much anger, so much stress, so much just this underlying sense that everything's about to explode. And people are frightened. They're frightened. There's everything that they believed in or everything that they trusted. All of a sudden, they can't trust anything anymore. The foundations are being shaken so strongly. And we had to, for this transition to happen. So could you just sort of speak to that a bit, to bring a little bit of calmness to the situation?
Yeah, you know, again, I'm just going to boil it down to a very, very simple metaphor, because in actuality, what's happening on a cosmic level is hugely complex. Because we're in a technology upgrade, and everything here is written by programs, cellular programs, universal programs, galactic programs, programs within programs within programs within programs. Everything holds a program. And I'll just bring it back to what's happening. If you just think about a seed that's planted under the earth, that seed, nothing happens until that seed is activated, and then there starts to be movement deep under the earth. and you still don't see the movement. You don't even know that the seed is activated, but it's moving and it's shifting things as it comes up, and it's creating, it's already in a different dimension of itself as soon as it cracks out of that little pod and it starts to move, and it has to struggle, and it's, you know, that little tender shoot is coming up. And as it comes up, what it brings with it is a little mound of dirt. As it erupts, it breaks the crust of the earth open, and that disrupts what was before not disrupted. And this is what happens whenever there's new growth. It creates what seems to be an absolute disruption where there was no disruption before. So new growth cannot come without disruption. It cannot happen. It cannot happen without seemingly creating some terrible chaotic disruption. A baby comes screaming into the world, and the woman birthing it is screaming as well, and the man is running around in circles not knowing what the hell to do. And and luckily the midwife is telling everyone to breathe. And so this is really the birth of a new consciousness, and it gets messy, and it, you know, everyone runs around in a panic because this thing is coming and nobody knows, and it's coming and you can't stop it. The woman birthing it, the very cosmic mother that is birthing this new consciousness, is you know, she's a huge energy, and she's pushing stuff through, and we're a part of the planetary consciousness, and it's being pushed through us. This is the birth of consciousness, and every human being is birthing this consciousness. And depending on whether you've done your work and you know how to breathe and you know how to stay calm and you know everything's going to be okay, or you haven't done your work and you don't know how to breathe and you're in absolute panic and you're telling the nurse that you need drugs, I need drugs, give me drugs, give me drugs. It's like,
which we've been drugged to the freaking eyeballs as a race for bloody hundreds of years.
That's right. Oh, this is Duty. This is Juliet coming in to say hello. So really, birth is messy. Birth is going to create disruption. And if you've done your work, you stay calm and you breathe, and you're going to get through it. You know, some people are going to experience this birth and they're going to need an epidural. Some people are going to need a Caesar. Some people are going to be in labor for, you know, 2 years. And for some people, the baby's born in 5 minutes. So every one of us is going to experience it differently. What I have noticed, which is interesting, is that the masculine don't tend to be coping very well. The masculine, the masculine energy is a very transmissive energy. So they like a plan, and they like to focus, and they like to be able to carry forth their plan, and they like to have a mission, and they like to do A, B, C, D, E, and to get it done. And this baby is like, just, they don't know what to do with it. Okay. So a lot of men are running around the birthing room having meltdowns or trying to create contingency plans for something they don't even know, it hasn't even arrived yet. The women are really just doing their breath to breathe, to just breathe, because women are receptive. And so this is a receptive energy. Our receptors are opening, higher light is coming in. So we're better at birth generally. We do the birthing. So we might be having a little bit of trouble with labor, but we know we're going to get through it, and we know this thing is going to be born. The men are having a little bit of a hard time with it. So all I can say to the men is breathe, stay calm, and know that we're going to get through this. Yes, it's messy. It has to be messy. The disruption has to come. You know, there's always, the darkest time is always before the dawn. And this is the dawning of the new consciousness. You stay calm. You keep your vision on the highest vision you can possibly hold for the global collective. You see the world healed. You just keep the vision as high. You imagine the world the way you want it to be. Now, I'm going to go into something a little bit more It's a bit out there, but it's actually also not out there. It's just common sense. So we are going from third dimensional reality. We're birthing ourselves through the fourth dimension, which is our birthing channel, and we arrive in a fifth dimensional reality. Now, when we're doing this, we have to remember that the birthing channel itself is very, very important for us to be able to see ourselves on the other side of that, to see the new being, the newly birthed consciousness. Okay. And the way that we do this is we have to employ new technology. So as I was saying to someone the other day, we're still trying, we want to make pyramids, but we're doing it with old technology, and it's like trying to create pyramids out of toothpicks. Like, you can't keep doing it the old way. It doesn't work. You have to employ the new technology, which is what our cells are receiving. Otherwise, all this new software that's being downloaded into us is just sitting there. It's not being used. We're like still on Vista when we could be, or like we're on the first iPhone when we should be right up to the new level of the iPhone technology. However you want to apply it, you've got to engage the technology. You've got to engage the software. It's like my mother saying, I've got to learn how to do internet banking because everything's going to be going. Oh my God, you're still writing checks? She says, I just don't understand it. I said, well, you better get with the program. You know, we've got to get with the new program. So luckily for us, the new technology is always simple. It's so simple. Thank God it's created this way, that the mind doesn't believe it's that simple, because the mind is quite a complex mechanism. So this is how you do it. Remember, I said you have to visualize and imagine the world you want to see. You're either going to go two things. You're going to be in that birthing room and see that healthy baby born and keep breathing and know it's going to be okay, or you're going to go into panic and you're going to create interference within your physical spectrum and you're going to shut things down. You're going to create problems for yourself. You're either going to go into the lockdown of the old fearful mind, which is the old paradigm and the old program and the old settings, or you're going to employ the new software and you're going to imagine the world that you want to live in. Now, I know this sounds simplistic, but John Lennon said it. Imagine, imagine, imagine. This is our technology. Can you believe that? This is our technology. You imagine and you feel the world you want to live in. And that's the fifth dimensional reality that is already manifested, that you then bring here to have here as your experience. I can't put it any simpler. If everybody was doing this, we would be spun into the new reality so quickly that this whole mess would be a distant memory. Thing is,
yes,
the current paradigm, which is still has the power to draw us into the old fear-based scenarios and draw us all in, when we get caught up in that, we start to employ all the old technology. We get drawn back into the old fear-based programs. If they can keep us in the fear-based programs, they can virtually change our reality.
Yeah. Well, and this is where, sorry, I was going to say that
we can imagine the new reality, we virtually transform our reality.
All I was going to say was that, and this is where there are multiple potentials playing out right now, and multiple possibilities and multiple futures. And this is where the awakening of humanity is so, so important, that the more people we get to focus on the future that we want for ourselves and for our planet. And I love the way you explained this birthing process. And it's like, there are just millions and millions and millions of people who are trying to hold the baby in, and they're fighting so hard. They don't want it to birth. So they're fighting so hard to hold the baby in. And you can't imagine, it's like the baby wants to come out and you're trying to hold it in. It's like, it's so painful. It's like, just let go. Just also, go with the process.
Absolutely. And also, when you're giving birth, there comes a point where it's so intense and so excruciating, you want to leave your body. You will do anything to not be in the intensity of that experience. You want to leave your body. And a lot of people have left their bodies through this whole experience of the C word. They have left their bodies, and that's fine. It's too intense. They can't be in it. It's okay. It's fine. Really, everything's okay. The ones who leave, they were destined to leave. The ones who stay, they were destined to stay. It's all perfect. The ones who leave, they will come back and they will play again. This is the level where they had to exit, you know? So there, I remember my third child when he was being born. I just thought, oh, I can't do it. Like, this is too much. Like, how can a physical body do this? This is ridiculous. And then you somehow we're built for this. We're somehow built for the most excruciating, intense experience, and we don't die. We upgrade, you know.
I was not born for that experience. I knew that a long time ago. And I went, I am not experiencing that in his lifetime. I am done experiencing that intensity. No way.
I think that's why they say women are programmed to forget. They're programmed to forget. Otherwise, they'd never do it again. But seriously, I did not forget after the third one. I thought, that's it. Never again.
Never again.
And,
I think I brought the memory through from my last lifetime, because
so.
I've always gone, never again.
Yeah. You probably had 16 children in a village in Afghanistan or something and went, that's it. No,
that's it. Never again. Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Oh,
and we
gosh.
we're programmed to forget so that we don't remember that intensity. And sometimes we're programmed to forget our lifetimes. Every lifetime is a birth into a new consciousness, a new dimension, a new reality, a new experience. You know, we're programmed to forget. Otherwise, we wouldn't do this either. We're like, I don't think so. Just those angel wings. I'm staying up here.
That's right. This is intense. Absolutely. And we are here at a very, very intense time in humanity.
Yeah, but we've got so many tools to help us. We've got music. We've got beautiful food, clean food that helps our body to integrate the higher light spectrums. We've got herbal harmonic teas, which are nature's music to tune the instrument and upgrade the instrument, and, you know, beautiful, beautiful things that we're being given at this time to really assist in the birthing process. We're given codes that are high frequency images that hold sound, again, that when worn on the body or looked at and breathed in, like mandalas, for example. We know this is ancient. Mandalas are ancient. They vibrate with powerful frequencies. Monks have been using them for centuries. But what I'm bringing in at the moment are the high frequency light codes that then are interpreted in great, beautiful images that you can wear, you know, that are really, it's new art. It doesn't have to be, everything's in an upgrade. It doesn't have to be the old Buddhist mandalas. Anyway, the old Buddhist mandalas, beautiful as they are, it's old tech. It's old technology. It's still vibrating and it's beautiful, but everything is new at the moment, and embracing the new and going with the new and stepping into it is such an extraordinary adventure. Being courageous enough to go, yeah, well, it looks a bit weird, you know, but I think I'm going to try it. You mean if I wear that t-shirt, I'm going to feel a vibration? I'm going to feel my cells get electrocuted and upgrade? Yes, that's what happens. Get the upgrade. Just do it. Just be in the experience of it. All you're doing is upgrading to more joy, more harmony, more balance, more light, more beauty, more love. Like, and you know, you blossom.
So much of that available to us, isn't there? There's just
so much.
So
I have finally, with the thing in my back going, come on, Mayanya. I finally got a website up and running for these teas, which I've been making for nearly 8 years now. And you can find the teas on mayanya.com, and they're just beautiful, organic, herbal harmonic blends, which will transform your biology on so many levels. You're not just a physical being, you're an emotional being, a mental being, a metaphysical being, a spiritual being, an energy being. So these harmonics, of course, they're designed to work through the entire spectrum of your being and to bring balance. They do a lot of clearing through the physical body as well, but they do a lot of defragging through the mental as well.
So that's
And then
MAYANYA.
ANYA. Yep, just mayanya.com. Take you straight to that website. And then I've just put some of the art also, which has been downloading for the last 30 years, the art, high vibrational codes, which finally have also flown out there. And I'm quite surprised to see how they've gone out, but they've gone. And they're on 2 platforms. They're on the Redbubble platform under Light Lingo, and on an Etsy store just under Mayanya. So, but they'll soon all be on the website. I'll just have a button there which take you right into the gallery. You'll also be able to see exquisite star mandalas that are the blossom pods that I drew years ago have opened into the galactic star mandalas. So, and you have some t-shirts.
I do. I have some here. So this is actually that's the Master of Light shirt that we bought. We actually bought this for my husband many years ago.
Yeah.
And he still has it. He has worn it many times and loves it. So you can see how the light language is. Just talk us through these.
Okay, so when I started drawing them, they would come in these shapes and forms, and initially what they would come in as jellyfish. And when I inquired as to why they were jellyfish, I was told that the jellyfish are some of the most ancient beings on the planet that have never left the water. They are literally ships of light that hold the vibrational frequency for the upgrade of our light bodies. They hold our ascension codes in their energy bodies, which is why they're so highly protected. A lot of them have really bad stings. You don't go near them. They need to be kept in play within the ocean, within the plasmic field of the body, of the earth, so that they're continually vibrating through the water, our ascension codes, our upgrade codes. And of course, we're 75% water. So every time you go into the ocean or every time you drink water, you're potentially getting those codes through your body, especially purified water. And being in the ocean right now is really great if you can get into the ocean. So when they came in jellyfish, what they gave me was that big code that you saw, which is the Master of Light code for the masculine body's upgrade. And then they gave me, can you show one of the female ones, one of the pink ones or the turquoise ones?
This one?
The white one, this is the liquid light code, which is cosmic hydration. This is a really important code to wear because basically when you're breathing from the lymphatic system of the body of God. The atmosphere of God is the lymph system, and the lymph system is in a massive upgrade, and we have a lymph system as well. So when you're wearing that liquid light encrypted t-shirt, you're actually aligning your lymphatic system with the cosmic light body's lymphatic system. And it's very important for your liquid light body. 75% is liquid. So when I first put that one in, I wore them inside out, back to front, night and day for about 5 or 6 years. They were my second skin. And after I wore them for a while, I didn't need to wear them anymore because my light spectrum, my lymphatic system was completely attuned to that upgrade that's going on in what I call the body of God, in the atmosphere. And remember, the atmosphere is water. We live in water. This is a watery environment. When it's cold, you can see it, you breathe and you can see it, but it's just all different levels of water that solidify into different forms. This is water. The ocean is water, the fish are water, and the atmosphere is water. So tuning to the high frequency in the liquid light body is one of the most important things you can do for yourself for that primary upgrade at the moment.
So you've also got that in these cosmic hydration mats.
I do. Now,
yes.
I don't have very many of them printed at the moment. I don't know how many I sent to you, but you might have some of the last that are actually in print. And so what these do is, again, everything is water. When you put your glass of water onto that mat, you take a drink, a little bit of your saliva is now in your water. The vibration of the code upgrades liquid light spectrum within that glass of water. And when you drink it, you're drinking the modified or the upgraded light spectrum within the liquid light frequency. So you can also do it that way. You can just drink the water, or you can wear the code. Some people just like to wear it. For me, I had to wear it on my body the whole time for years. And they feel amazing. There's something in them. They feel amazing. They really are like a second skin. And now, of course, you can go and you can get lots more codes. Those were the basic ones that I bought in probably about 15 years ago. And you can get lots more now on the other two platforms, which are really user-friendly and a bit funky and really cool, really nice. But they're all doing huge work in your body. So you might feel that. Well, you probably will. You will feel heat or cold or shivers or goosebumps or spinning out a little bit. You might have to lie down sometimes, but you're in a cosmic light upgrade. So, like I said,
It's
this
amazing.
The technology. It's cosmic technology, and we're cosmic beings. We're in our cosmic suits, and we're in upgrades. So.
Yes,
a lot of information. I hope I'm not overwhelming everyone. I have been talking about this for a long time, and so it's my body of work.
Normal.
This is totally normal. And really, this is just the beginning of it. There's so much more, but it's so lovely just to be able to bring this to help people in their own birthing process, to speed things up a little bit and to calm things down. If you want drugs, these are the drugs you need. Okay.
Oh, absolutely. And this is what I find, I'm just finding fascinating at the moment. Sorry for the rustling, but it's so interesting because I've had some fascinating interactions with some other light workers on Facebook that I've just completely retracted, because they're kind of spinning out in this spiritual ego and just spewing stuff out all over me. And I was like, whoa, okay, didn't anticipate that. It's a bit intense. And the fact that even the light workers, they're struggling. Some of them are really struggling right now to integrate what's coming through. And
that's been very interesting. That's been very interesting to watch.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, because essentially, if you've got fear inside you, it's going to be coming up big time now. It's going to be manifesting. You can pretend that you haven't, and you can put your little angel wings on and walk around, and you can, be playing through the spiritual ego. But this is the time when the wheat is separated from the chaff. This is written in the Bible. It's Judgment Day. You'll be seen for who you are. And that's why this is so important that this is happening, because if you've done your work, you stay calm and you breathe and you visualize the outcome you want to live in. If you haven't done your work, your fear will come up and overwhelm you, and you'll have to live through it. Like I say, in this game, there's no cheats. There's no cheats. You are with yourself all the way through. So it's a really beautiful time, because you get to see where people really are at. Are they living through the fear-based dimension of their mind, or have they managed to anchor in the love dimension of their heart? And where are they living from? Where are they expressing from? It's great. It's been very interesting watching a lot of people who are spiritual teachers having massive meltdowns and playing, being very pulled into the fear, being very pulled into the fear play.
Oh, it's
So
fascinating. And as a psychic medium, a good friend of mine said to me yesterday, I hope you got your popcorn, love, because it's going to get very interesting in the next few weeks. And this is, and you've been saying it beautifully tonight. It's just detach from the circus and the show that's going on out there, because it is provided for your entertainment. But
yeah,
if you get drawn into it and taking sides, and this has got to happen for us to evolve, and for humanity to be okay. I believe this is what's going to happen. I believe this has to happen, and if this doesn't happen, then we're all screwed. No, wait a minute. How do you know that for sure? How do you know that if any particular scenario plays out, that we're either going to be okay or we're not going to be okay? Why don't you just pull back and just allow this to unfold? Don't give any energy to the fear-based paradigms and the fear-based programs, because that's what feeds it. Even if you believe that this, and you intensely believe that you need this particular outcome, if there's a fear that's driving it, then you're just feeding the whatever outcome we don't want. So withdraw your energy from that, and as you said, breathe. Just know that it's all going to be okay. Know that we're having an upgrade, and know that through this intensity, there will be a beautiful growth and evolution on the other side of it, an ascension, a transcendence, and this awakening that is beyond anything we could possibly imagine in these vessels that we have right now, with the upgrade that we're going to experience. And if we can just trust that and trust the process and just
yeah.
go with it.
So does the bud even know about its scent? Does it even know about the scent that is going to release when it opens? It doesn't even know. It has no idea. And then the bees come. Oh my God. You know, like the bees come and the bees make honey. So it just gets better and better and better. And this old paradigm of thought control through fear is at its end. It simply cannot sustain itself anymore. There's too much light on the planet. There are too many beings whose cellular receptors are flooded with a higher light, and they're walking it out into the world every day. We are receivers. These instruments are receivers and transmitters. They're 75% water, therefore they're crystalline. They're crystal. Crystals receive and transmit energy. So the more high vibe you can be, the happier you are. When you walk out there, you're transmitting your high light frequency. If you want to help the planet, don't worry, be happy. Seriously. No, just be happy. Look, you know what? If shit's going to go down, shit's going to go down. You might as well be happy anyway. What's all the worrying going to do?
Yeah.
If it's going to go down, how is you pulling your hair out going to help? If it's me, I'm going out smiling anyway. So
Yeah.
but I see a beautiful potential playing out. The 3 days of the 19th, the 20th, and the 21st are absolutely crucial on this planet, because and it's just such a beautiful setup, because everybody's going to be praying. It's Christmas. Everybody's going to be praying. The week before Christmas, everybody's going to be tuned into the Christ consciousness, tuned into the God presence, and praying and praying and praying. So you're going to have millions of people tuned into the Christ consciousness. And over that period, a portal opens up. And when that portal opens up, it's designed this way, the more people that are tuned in, the more light floods the planet. The more light floods the planet, the darkness is dispersed. Okay? So those 3 days, you stay as high vibe as possible. You stay away from negative people. You tune into any Netflix show that makes you laugh. You watch good stuff. You hang out with high vibrational people. You meditate. you stay away from negativity, you listen to great music, you laugh with your children, you do what makes you feel happy for those 3 days. You pray, you connect into the Christ consciousness within you, actually, and envision that world you want to live in. And that's actually all you have to do, because you're going online with millions and millions and millions of other people that are opening up a portal to flood this being with light, So
and I love that you said that, and you've spoken about there are so many tools available to people right now that have been coming through for several decades. You've been bringing some of these tools through for several decades. And you've got things like the t-shirts, wearing the codes, and then drinking the teas, and there's so much available that it's not difficult. You don't have to go and isolate yourself on some mountain somewhere. Just buy something that, or invest in something that you feel called to invest in, that's going to work for you. And we were talking before we came on, and you said you've been like in this program of procrastination. And I think there are so many of us, Mayanya, who have been waiting.
Yeah, I don't think it's procrastination. I think it's divine timing. Well, and I think so many of us have these amazing things to bring to the world. But again, the seeds are planted, and in God's time, or in the divine time, they pop up. And that seems to be what's happening now. Everything is starting to move into the world. All of these incubated little seeds are starting to sprout. And believe me, if it's happening to me and it's happening to you, it's happening to millions of other people. This energy that is starting to pour into the world. I'm getting goosebumps all through my body.
Me too.
So it is the most extraordinary time to be alive on the planet.
It's so amazing.
Everybody who is here put their hand up for this assignment and said, choose me. And we were told it's going to get a little bit hairy. And it's like, I'm built for it. I'm built for it. So exactly. You're built for it. Built for birthing this new consciousness through your body.
It's relax, lean in, release the resistance. Relax, lean in, release the resistance. And just know that we are being divinely guided. And, that whole, I've been doing so much work on various projects and internet marketing and doing EFT with people, and always knowing that there was something so much bigger for me. And there was I'm not good with patience. Patience is not my thing. And there was always this part of me about going, come on, when's it going to happen? Like, seriously, I'm so ready. When the hell is this thing going to happen? I know I've got this light language thing in me. What are we going to do with it? Please, come on already, and then and I'd almost given up on it, man. I was like, whatever, I've got this thing and I've got this voice, and I don't know what you want with it, but I'm just focusing on other shit, because nothing ain't happening in that area. And then all of a sudden, within 48 hours, this global event just happened. And it was so surreal, and it was just like this whirlwind that spirit came in and whipped it up, and I'm a part of it going, what the hell is going on? Like, seriously? What is this?
It just happens to be coinciding when that portal is opening, and you're globally connecting to this light grid, and like it's divine. It's divine timing. It's amazing.
It is divine timing. That on the 20th, we're going to be bringing this concept with light language, with Aboriginal didgeridoo healing, with crystal bowl sound healing, with so many beautiful codes and beautiful healing that's going to be so intense, and just so much a part of the ascension and the work that you're bringing through right now. And it's kind of like, we've just been these buds who have been kind of like, yeah, we're sort of opening. Oh, okay, here we go.
You and I have been buds that are going, come on. When's this going to happen? And it's like, our creator says, all in good time, dear, all in good time. Have patience.
What's this thing called patience? I don't understand this thing called patience. we
then
just do
it's
it
like,
already?
then it's like, don't you want to blossom with everyone else? Like if you pop
Mm.
too soon, you're gonna miss the party. You know, if you pop too soon, those little petals will be falling off when everybody else is coming up to bud. Just trust me, I know what I'm doing. It's
This human incarnation is not easy, that's for sure.
I know,
So,
but it's fun. It gets,
it is.
look, as you get better at it, you should be having more fun, because you look around at the old paradigm and you just go, seriously? Seriously?
Yeah.
I'm just not buying it anymore. They can try. They can try selling me a cure in a bottle
Oh.
that is just poisoning me. I'm just, just not believing any of it anymore. Just give me the medicine of light. Just give me the technology that's already in my body. That's what I'm here for. That's what I came to switch on.
Oh, yeah.
I want to play that game. So
absolutely. Yeah, for sure. So we're going to wrap it up. So thank you so much for being with us. Thank you so much, Mayanya, for your beautiful
Thank you
wisdom.
for having me. Thank you for
always a
having
delight. Me. I do have some of Mayanya's t-shirts here if you would like some of the Liquid Light and the Master of Light. And what was the other one? I do have it in the cupboard there.
So the other one is the female jellyfish code, which is on the back of a singlet, and it's this beautiful shape so I've put it on the head of there's the head of a woman, and the jellyfish is like this, and underneath it says, get an eye full of my beautiful. So it's really the feminine embracing the shape of the feminine, and also integrating that self-acceptance and self-love, because for a long time the feminine has rejected herself through the images that we've been fed, and this is about embracing the feminine, really embracing the empowered feminine and the shape and the form of that beautiful being that we are. And
yes,
she's beautiful.
I have that
so
t-shirt in my drawer. I love it. I wear it regularly. It's gorgeous.
She's all about self-acceptance and self-love, and get an eye full of my beautiful. So that comes in a pink and a turquoise. So they're beautiful to wear. And if you go to my website soon, I'll have some links up to be able to view some of the other codes that are going up. And again, just have fun with it. It's an automatic upgrade. Just breathe and have fun, and all will be well. So thank you, Margarita, having me, and blessings to all of you, my family of light. Blessings to all of you.
Beautiful to reconnect again, and I'm sure our paths will cross again very, very soon. So
good luck with your concert. You got to send me the link so I can log on to that. I want to be there for that. And just one more thing about those 3 days, apart from keeping your vibe high and being around people that make you feel good and doing good things, really, really send your vibration to the planet. And because this is actually a time for us to be able to connect deeply with the heart of the planet, because it's her upgrade. We're along for the ride. So send some loving blessings to the planet and really infuse her with your love. And it's very important that you do that. That's the last thing I say. Margarita, I'd also encourage you over that period when you're singing or whatever. I know you're doing light language, you're speaking the language of the cosmic earth, but also just to bring a reminder to people that we're here for the planet just as much as she's for us. And this is her time as much as it is our time, Mother Gaia. So she's birthing.
Yes, we're in this together.
Together.
We are. All right. Love you, beautiful lady.
Margarita.
We'll talk again soon.
Too.
All right.
Thank you. Bye-bye. See you.